first floor. There shouldn't be any stairs leading down. At this point, any rational person would have called someone, police, the landlord, anyone. But I've seen enough horror movies to know how this goes. I needed to see for myself. So I grabbed my phone, turned on the flashlight, and stepped inside. The air was stale, thick with dust and something else, something rotting. The stairs creaked under my weight as I descended, and at the bottom I found a small windowless room. The walls were covered in faded, peeling wallpaper. There was a single wooden chair in the center facing the far wall. And on that wall, photographs, dozens of them, small, black and white, some faded Polaroids, all pinned in the perfect grid. I stepped closer, holding my light up to get a better look. My stomach dropped. The photos were of people, dozens of them, all staring into the camera. Some were smiling, others looked terrified, and then I saw the last row. They were all photos of me, sleeping, sitting at my desk, leaving for work. I don't remember much after that. Just running, sprinting up the stairs, shoving the hidden door shut and moving my dresser back in front of it. I barely slept that night. The next morning I called my landlord pretending I had a maintenance issue in the bedroom. When he showed up, I watched his face closely as he inspected the wall. "There's no door here," he said, running his hand over the smooth paint. I felt sick. I shoved the dresser aside and pointed. "Right there. Right there. Right there." There was a door, a staircase, a room. He frowned. "I don't know what you're talking about." And he didn't, because the door was gone. No seam, no outline, just solid, unbroken wall. I moved out that day, left everything behind except my phone and wallet. But last night, I got a text. No number, no message, just a single image. Not three, not three, not three, not two, but one. A single image. A photo of me, sleeping in my new apartment. Alright, that was the first story. It ends on a little bit of a cliffhanger. But I thought it was good. Alright, this next one is a little bit shorter. It's a little bit, just a little bit shorter. I saw myself in another time. I must get this off my chest because this is freaking me out. No one believes me. 2 weeks ago, I woke up to my phone buzzing, and it was a message from a friend I hadn't spoken to in a little over a year. He asked me if I wanted to meet up for pizza, and I said, yeah, sure. This was on a Saturday. For some reason, I felt a strange sense of deja vu. I didn't think much about it because it's completely normal. I was doing my normal morning routine, but there was just something off. When I reached for the egg box, I noticed the label wasn't quite right, like something was off. The colors seemed completely wrong, and like the basic city layout. My office is right next to a relatively small park that allows me to cut from my building across the street to the coffee shop. After cutting across the park, I walked up 2 blocks to get to the coffee shop. I left the office at about 9:45 or so, stopped in the bookstore, and finally placed an order at the coffee shop at 10:09 a.m. I checked the receipt. I had to wait a while to get my order, and when I did, ate relatively quickly and left. I leave the coffee shop and turn left to walk down the same street that would take me down to the park that is next to my office building. Only I'm not in the correct street anymore. My brain experiences a moment of disorientation. The street I'm walking on looks familiar, but it's not what I should be seeing if I was on the correct path. I feel myself begin to freak out. I think back. Had I crossed any streaks accidentally? Could I have been deep in thought and taken a wrong street somehow? I had been thinking about a competition at the office that I was taking part in. It was distracting but not absorbing, if that makes sense. I find a street sign, and I am blocks away from the coffee shop and 2 blocks to the right of the square next to my office. I talk to a random stranger and ask for directions back to my office to make sure that I'm not mistaking where I thought I was. He tells me to walk down the road, turn left, and walk down again to get to a landmark on the street next to my office. I get back to work and it's 10:42. How? I remember seeing the display in the shop window of the building the coffee shop was in. I've worked in this area for about 10 years and have walked that street countless times and in all frames of mind, and I have never gotten lost or wandered off. I also think that it should have